Hey everyone, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and the Force Ghost to my side here is Rob, the Sketchcrafter. Sketchcrafts.
Was
Oh no, you did it! You really did it. Is that because they did your phone get a push notification that there's going to be a Super Bowl and it had a bunch of Roman numerals and you're like, what does that mean? Like me?
No, because I had some stupid sales rep tell me once that was the future of Star Wars shirts, and I was forced to make one, in 2014.
Right.
2013. Sorry, 2013.
So
hating life.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about some Boba numbers. I called it the Boba Hope Show, like I was Bob Hope or something. And then we got some little special edition article that I wanted to talk about, and that you sent me, Rob, that you thought was great and looked good from what I could see. If it's not, we're going to tell you that your recommendations suck, and we're going to have a talk with you about maybe recommending better stuff in the future. But it looks good though. I think you're on
tomorrow's show. Tune in for tomorrow's show when Force Ghost is in the corner.
Oh no! I'm like, this is wait here.
Yeah.
I am a big man, and you are but a little ghost, Casper.
Oh, I'm tiny.
But yeah. So
I might be small, but I got a Kenny Baker sized dick. I assure you.
Well, wait, 2 minutes in, maybe we'll be monetized. Who knows? With all of these Star Wars riches coming in, that's what matters. My name is Joel, and I like the book of Boba Fett. Yeah, my name is Jason, and I'm gonna say I like the book of Boba Fett when it's piecemealed. Each thing by itself, I have no problem with. I'm curious. This is definitely a show where when it's over, I'm gonna know how I feel about it, and I don't know how I feel about it as it's happening. It may be I may love it, but right now I don't know I don't know what I think.
Did you see the trailer for Halo? The Halo series?
Unfortunately, I've seen the trailer for Halo. A friend sent it to me, and I watched it, and I was pretty okay, I'm interested. And then I saw I heard the Phil Collins song, and I didn't trust anything that they had to say after that. I don't trust anybody who believes in Phil Collins or who pushes the Phil Collins agenda. I think that right there should tell you all that you need to know. Watch out. But that said, I watched it the first time. I was like, okay, whatever.
Tarzan.
Yeah, I was.
Tarzan, let's be honest.
Oh no, he didn't. he killed Tarzan. No, that's why. No
one's been able to top it since. That's how great it is.
Chewbacca topped it in 1983. The end.
If Phil Collins could have wrote the song, then he would have. Trust me.
Yeah,
no one's holding him back. But look, man. I'm not saying it looks genius. I'm saying it looks like what I thought Boba Fett was going to be, a guy in a suit running around kicking all sorts of ass. Now, it's possible that show is also a giant slog fest. You're just getting the highlights, so who knows?
Yeah.
But looks like a cinematic television show with lots of action, and one would hope.
I don't really believe in it translating to screen. I'm probably famous last words because a bunch of idiots will probably love it, even if it's bet. But no, but it looked to me like they were trying to do Mando things. I don't talk. I'm very quiet in this suit, and they have the mask on. But I think he looked like a little bit ridiculous. It looked a little bit bulky to me, and as we know, I don't really care for the bulk in costumes.
I know. I could care less about the design. I'm just saying,
well, that's all.
If the show is super good, right? You're never gonna hear the end of this. We're out of the Boba Fett game as soon as the show's over. No,
sure,
it's gonna be a whole second wave.
There's always been Halo works for some people as a story and it's a thing, and I'm not knocking it. If they dig it, by all means, have a great time with it. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed playing it multiplayer. I don't get why it's that impressive. It's nothing I haven't seen before, and in terms of everything about it for the most part. And
Music.
I think it's a fun game, but I don't love the story in the game enough to be like, I need this as a movie. You know, I didn't really need it. So
Well, it's a TV show.
but
It's not a movie.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was I'm saying I don't need it on screen.
It's
a
the
game.
Boba Fett. You don't need a Boba Fett movie. It's a man
Yes, I
in a
do.
suit who's
I
got
need
a
a
team
Boba
of
Fett
people,
movie.
and they're on a desert planet fighting against a bunch. Like, I'm just telling you, like one.
No.
It will be interesting to see. Like,
Rob,
I remember what I'm reminded of.
Rob. Let me clarify. I don't need a fucking Super Mario Brothers movie. It's a video game.
Yes,
I like it as a video game, and
do.
it works for me. Yeah, I would like it. I would like it. I
Well,
like
once you've seen,
but
once you've seen John Leguizamo pretend to be Italian, you're never gonna go back. Like, you're gonna want that in every fucking film. Only to be topped by him in Romeo and Juliet, which I fucking love. By the way, like, I love that.
Sure,
movie.
Yeah, that's cool. It was an interesting take. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it like whenever I play video, like for instance, I love Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption would make a fantastic film, but I don't need it to be a film. I like it as a video game. I like it where it's at. I like it where it's working. I like it where it's doing what it's supposed to like do. And like the Star Wars things are inherently from the screen for the most part. And so that's where I'm like, okay, fine, yeah, keep doing that. But I'm not somebody. I'm not
from the screen. You know, like what it is it gives them a tangibility. They get to see their
it's passive.
Thing that was animated. No, it's not.
I don't like a passive experience.
It's not It's not a passive experience when you're playing a video game. There's nothing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Rob. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, I don't understand
a video game isn't passive. I'm actively playing it, and I enjoy that.
Yeah, okay.
Watching a TV show or a film is a passive experience. I don't
agree with that. That's what I meant. I don't agree that TV shows are passive experiences where when a show works, when it connects us with the audience, you are there with the character. It is no longer when the storytelling is good.
I have no power though.
The music is in sync. You believe you are Luke in the X-Wing destroying the Death Star. You have the same experience. Yes, you do. It's why you cheer. If it was just me observing, like out, did we lose him?
Melon is tired of Rob's shit, and Melon said, "You know what, Rob? You're done."
Yeah. I got canceled quicker than Joe Rogan. You think about that?
No. I know where you're going, and I get what you're saying, but the truth is like whenever like you watch a Star Wars movie, you are passively on a journey with the hero, rooting for them. And that's like a whole thing. But what I'm saying is you can need it. But I don't need something where I'm in control. Like whenever I'm Master Chief, I'm in control of him. I'm doing things, and it's just to me, it's just such a different experience. No, and I don't feel like those things.
20. What I'm trying to tell you is, I don't believe when we were going out the theater in 1983, rolling up paper to make little lightsabers and using force, we're dressing up. We aren't going, that's right, Luke Skywalker. When we run out the studio after seeing the movie theater, after seeing Spider-Man as kids, we don't run around and go, that's right, Spider-Man did all that. You think you do the Spider-Man moves as if you were doing them. You had the experience. It's when it works, it is no longer passive. You are the character. When it doesn't work, like a bad video game, a bad video game is not transcendent. You're like, fuck this. I hate them fighting this stupid thing. So when things are good, you always eliminate the passiveness, and you become that experience in your mind. I'm telling you, like, the reason why games get that thing is they go, well, it's the controller, and because the movie doesn't have the controller, you aren't there. This is why when people watch sports, they cheer as if they won it. I'm telling you, we believe we won. Like, you believe you were there playing the game, like, even though you weren't.
Yeah, but I also don't play.
They don't go. We did it.
I'm not like that. But whenever I hear people when the Lakers win and they say we did it, I'm like, you didn't do shit. I mean that's.
I would like if your experience was for everyone, right? Like, well, like I think
what I'm trying to
what people are actually
say is things are designed like for instance, here's as big of an asshole as I am about this whole thing. I really don't think that books turn into movies that are good either. Either it's one thing ends up being the best way to do it. I'm not saying that you can't name a fucking version, but how many? No. I never read Shawshank Redemption. I saw the movie and it was a good movie, but what I am saying is that a generality is that whatever the medium, the specific media was designed for is where it prospers. It usually doesn't go like I've never read a Star Wars book better than a Star Wars movie. I've never played a Star Wars video game better.
Arcane.
I didn't play Arcane.
Arcane is objectively better than the video game by far. It's an amazing animated experience that is groundbreaking visuals. Fantastic story.
Rob,
better than the game.
I'm not saying that there's not an example that you could find from your personal life where you're like that. But if we're talking in
this
generalities,
is the most recent example. I get what you're saying.
Okay, Interview with the Vampire, better book. If we took
I'm talking about
movie,
the Halo thing that comes out now, and Arcane.
If we took every video game movie
years ago,
if we took every video game movie, if we took every video game and every video game movie, majority of the times, the vast majority of the times, 90% of the time or more, wherever it came out is going to be better than what they tried to translate it to.
But video game TV shows is what I'm talking about. And video game TV shows have a pretty good track record. Castlevania is amazing.
I got bored.
Has been amazing.
Halo, Castlevania. Couldn't finish the series. Witcher. There's porn.
People love it.
Porn. I don't. Yeah.
Like we could all stand to watch some Henry Cavill porn. All right. I think that right there would heal a lot of wounds in this nation. So depression is a real problem.
Right there. I completely think that the books are all better, and that's not me just being like pretentious. I really didn't think Dune was that fascinating of a movie. I thought it was kind of a slog for me, and Game of Thrones. I honestly don't really. The other two I don't really.
It won every award until they fast tracked the last season. Come on, Come on. Matter of fact, nobody read the books until that fucking show came out. Sorry, no one even knew what it was. You know? Yeah, and matter of fact, was normalcy? Was that thing where you only think the thing that is now recency? Is that what it's called? Where the thing that comes out now is better or was more important than the thing that came out before?
Okay,
was it recent normal? I can't remember. Word for it. But like when Lord of the Rings came out, people thought that shit was like their generation Star Wars. And Lucas is out there going, actually, it's my Star Wars.
I was, yeah. And when honestly, I wasn't a fan of Lord of the Rings either, though. I thought they were kind of boring movies. I mean, I had a good time, watching them the very first time, but people really loved it. And I was just like,
this conversation, and you can devolve or evolve into a whole different one as it has, is that you have a TV show and a guy in a suit of armor with the mask that he never takes off that goes on a big space opera action-filled adventure, and it looks more like the one I thought that was going to do that we should be watching right now. So that is what's weird.
Rob,
right?
Rob, you're just
but
saying,
it could be completely bad. Rob, I've never said it's going to be good.
Yeah, but you're connecting the dot to Boba Fett when you should be connecting it to the Mandalorian. So it's like
no doubt. After what I've read, They Would Be Kings, right? Mm-hmm. When they were building the giant Microsoft, the big Halo soundstage studio at Microsoft Studios back in the early 2010s, right? They were building a giant Microsoft, and they were going to build a giant TV studio, movie studio thing down there. And the Halo thing was the first thing that was getting made. So that Halo predates the Mandalorian. What killed that was like there was no way they were going to try to get into the streaming TV market given how much money. And then when the new head of Microsoft took over, he dissolved all that and then flipped Microsoft back around by turning 365 into a paid service and all that stuff. So that's actually not true. Yours just came out now because of all the other things that happened, and they were able to team up with an actual movie studio, Paramount, to foot the bill and do all that stuff. The only reason why they didn't do it 10 years ago is because they didn't want to foot the bill. And if you read the DreamWorks story, They Would Be Kings, you would understand how much fucking money DreamWorks lost building their own studios, which is why I knew that was never going to happen. So like, there's way more. Sorry, go ahead.
No. It just the whole thing to me feels derivative from A Billion Angles, and Phil Collins is there taking a deuce on it. I mean, it's like cool.
But he made the Ronnie Reagan puppet, in a Superman outfit. How can you hate that?
Phil Collins is basically a mass murderer of quality over the years. If you want to get down to it, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So you're a Peter Gabriel fan?
No, not a Peter. No, fuck all of them.
But he made a song called "I Can't Dance," and it made it comfortable for white guys to not dance properly for at least.
I remember.
I gotta respect that.
I remember like around 1988, and I remember my parents going, "You have to hear this band called Genesis. They're amazing. Old people, young people, they're all dancing together." And my little punk rocker heart in me knew that's not right, man. That's not right. Something's wrong. Something's definitely wrong with that. Yeah. And but I mean, like,
I'm a little less picky when it comes to that stuff. If you make a puppet music video, you get a pass from me. Sorry. Go ahead.
I do hope. Jason needs Snickers. I thought you said sneakers. I was like, well, I got these on, but
I was thinking the movie Sneakers, and everyone needs that movie. It's a fucking treasure. It's a goddamn fuck. I watch it every year, and I'm like, the score. Yeah. It might be in my top 5 scores of all time. The Sneaker score is so perfectly. It's like it's just you could put it on anything, and it's instantly better. Like it doesn't actually like pander to any particular emotion. It's just a wonderful little score that can make anything. Like if you order Olive Gardens by listening to the Sneaker soundtrack, you will have a better experience.
Okay,
guaranteed.
Guaranteed. I believe you. I believe it. Oh, I'm trying to open up a Hollywood Reporter article, and instead they're trying to play me Cobra Kai videos. Okay.
Fair
anyways,
enough.
Yeah.
Fair trade.
Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, Rob, you have to understand that I have lived through many pop culture traumas throughout my time. Super Mario Brothers came out, I was there. Street Fighter came out, I was there. Rob, Mortal Kombat, Rob, I was there.
Yeah, I went through the prequels, and here I am on a Star Wars podcast.
Rob,
tell me again about Star Fighting trauma.
I smoked. Yeah, this is you don't know, but you're actually in purgatory right now. You died. You just don't know. That diet didn't work out, dude. You actually got really, really fat.
I died. It's called a diet because you died.
A diet, yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean that like I said, like when it comes like video, in my opinion, video game choices and the things that end up making video game design and vibe and stuff like good is the fact that it is a game, and the fact that like you do have first person control of it for the most part. And when you take it over to the screen, for the most part, I usually find that whatever it was that worked for me is now missing. And like, it just doesn't work. And like design things that I let go in Halo in the video games and I'm perfectly fine with, I saw on screen there and I'm like, oh, the guys could have done better than that. Like, and then on one hand, I gave it credit for not moving away from what the fans expected. But at the same time, I don't think it doesn't look like it contributed much on that front. But when it comes out, I hope it's great. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I love it. And, and I hope Phil Collins never fucking releases a song again.
Man, blame Lana Del Rey for thinking she can just eerily whisper any song into existence. Like
I know.
It started a whole genre of music in which they just slowly creep. What's a good? I don't wanna grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Yeah. I remember like seeing like a bunch of Lana Del Rey titles to songs, and I'm like, that sounds fucking cool. What is this song? It's like they're all like kind of like gothic
girls
metal. No, and it's like I don't remember what it was, but it's like made not born. I'm like, whoa, what is this gonna be? And I put it on, and I'm just like, bring a fucking book. Who wants to read Lord of the Rings while I listen to this fucking slow ass bullshit?
Lana Del Rey is the what's it? The Killers. What was that? That was that song.
Mormon rock. The
No,
Mormon band Killers.
no, that what was the one that they had the song about Mr. Brightside, right? With
Yeah, there's Killers.
is that the name of them?
I think so.
Okay, I can't remember
Yeah,
the name of the stupid band, but women love
yeah.
that. They still do. Like it's like they're in the same group. They speak to the soul
Right,
of
right, right.
the female variety, and I
Yeah,
go, man, whole career just that one thing. So fucking jealous. Like,
yeah. No,
wish I could stumble into that.
yeah. No, it's just like I just never understood why, like you could listen to David Bowie or you could listen to Kate Bush, and there's just so much stuff. Like if you are of that yuppie variety, why would you Phil Collins it at that point? I just don't know why you would. But but really quickly, I want to see what our old friend Michael says. Jason, I think games being ported to film is rapidly improving. It's been a running meme for how shit it's been over the years, but recent examples are showing a definite uptick in quality. No, I totally I agree. I even think when you just at a base level, that Halo trailer is worlds better than the entirety of video game movies in the past. Unless you
Jason,
like it for
no
cheese value.
science fiction film ever does well in its second week. All right, you need to understand it's historically proven to be really bad for 60 years. There's no
Yeah.
way this movie ever makes, oh shit, it made money. 40 years later, here we are. So like I don't want to hear how like the past dictates the future. Like the minute
I'm
people
with
who
you.
are passionate get behind and translate, do you deliver on the premise of the promise? Now, if they deliver, the show, there you go. If they exceed expectations, say something like Peacemaker, where people had zero fucking interest going into that show, even with the whole fucking movie, however that worked out, exceeded people's expectations. So, like, all I'm saying is, if the show is good, we're gonna be hearing about it. I guarantee it. So,
You son of Santa's blasting it. Santa's blasting it, you guys.
I love subtle shade Santa.
So that guy, he can't help it. He was probably slaying it. Get it? Slaying it back then to some Phil Collins, and he has some, and there's some dopamine hits. I'm gonna let it go.
I named my kid Dope. His last name is Emin.
All right. So
DI. I'm Dope Emin.
Book of Boba Fett. So there was like a little article here if we want to just talk about what is going on in the world and contextualize Book of Boba Fett regardless of our opinions. And for the record, my opinion is in flux. That's what's important to. I honestly won't have. There are things I like every little bit for what it is. I've had a good time for what it is almost every single week. But the difference is that this is a series of connective tissue, and right now I'm not really feeling that it connects well. So I'll have to see how I feel at the end. And Ming Na Wen has said that it would have a rewatch value, but they've said a lot, haven't they? That we've hung on, and,
but it does, just not for why we think it. Rewatch it.
Or it's going to over deliver. Who knows?
Over deliver. That's the one.
If we see an Ewok tonight, then we'll know. Book of Boba Fett.
It's like when hold on. It's like when Little Caesar says they over deliver, right? You're like, you're over. You're giving me too much of this, Little Caesars. Like a little less of this.
You know what, dude?
Caesars, please.
I'm on like the third day of this diet right now. Don't even say Little Caesars, you son of a bitch.
Sorry.
Sounds fucking good right now. Anyways, Book of Boba Fett debuts. Cobra Kai rises to #1 on the streaming chart. The Star Wars series racks up a little under 400 million minutes of viewing time for the week of December. I like how they use this metric to make everybody sound like they have the giant media dick. I don't know what that really means. That's
Giant
you know what I
media
mean?
dick.
Yeah,
Hey,
I mean,
when we make a production studio, GMD has to be our fucking
yeah, giant
and we'll have
media
the picture
dick.
of like a sleuth, like a detective, but and he's really tall, like he's a giant media dick.
Because I mean, on one hand too, like what also is interesting to me, and what I think matters is like Book of Boba Fett. I've watched them all several times, and Star Wars fans usually watch things more than once. So that doesn't. So I actually care more about individual viewers on that, because that really says Disney cares about subscriptions. So individual viewers should be what matter here, not how many times somebody's watched it. In my opinion, at least I would think
That's
so.
true.
Anyways.
I agree with that.
The Book of Boba Fett debuted in the top 10 of Nielsen's streaming rankings, but it came up well short of the number one spot, which was claimed by Cobra Kai as the calendar switched to 2022. And one other thing to consider here, Disney Plus, not anywhere near as big as Disney. Netflix is way bigger than Disney Plus. So in terms of just home infiltration there, that's something to consider as well. It doesn't necessarily mean like, oh God, like I think if you were like, somebody who reports on how Star Wars is shitty and that's like your jam, you would be a little bit disingenuous if you don't include that aspect. The Star Wars series opened with 389 million minutes of viewing time on Disney Plus in the week of December to January 22nd. Good for eighth place among original series on Nielsen's chart. It did, however, likely have the largest number of viewers for the week, with a 39-minute running time. The Book of Boba Fett's premiere equates to an average of an audience of about 10 million viewers. So, okay, that contextualizes a little bit better for me. By comparison, season 2 of The Mandalorian drew more than 1 billion minutes of viewing time the week of its second season premiere in October 2020. That was spread across 9 episodes, however, since Nielsen counts every installment of his series in its streaming metric. Cobra Kai fourth. Stop playing fucking videos! God, Hollywood Reporter, you fucking idiots. Cobra Kai, his fourth season premiere December 31st, dethroned The Witcher as the top series in Nielsen's stream, blah, 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 blah. So, okay, so we get, yeah, it's, so it is not doing as well as the Mando. So here we go. Here's the actual numbers for everything. Cobra Kai 2.42 billion minutes. The Witcher 1.83. Wait, what is this? Original series. Wait, where Book of Boba Fett's number 8. So yeah, not
behind Wheel of Time. Wow, Wheel of Time, man. A lot of fans there. But you know what? It's hard because with Prime Video though, everyone already has it. So right. I sort of put that in a separate category. Like I love that you can watch Tick. I didn't have to like buy a whole servers for that. It just kind of came with it. So, good series by the way, the Tick. I didn't think it would be. Really good.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But look at that. Lost in Space. Maybe you have to watch that.
And I mean, I gotta say though, because Hawkeye. So at the same time, a show like Hawkeye, is that really bad for Boba, or does the fact that it's already been out for a while and has momentum for people to watch, does that change? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it has actors that they know, and it continues a storyline that they know. So no, all that's good.
Yeah,
and it gets people onto the platform, and then they see that there's other stuff. Yeah, that all works.
Is it bad for Boba is what I'm saying. Like 389 million versus Hawkeye's 539 million. Like if we round up, that's 400 million, and that's about 5.5.
I don't know about that. I think the question is when we don't have answers to this, what did Disney expect it to do? If Disney expected it to do this much, then we're doing great. If it expected to do way better, it's a whole nother question. And I assume they were expecting it to do more.
Yeah, I would assume
given what Mando's done. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So underperforming would be the word that we would use here in this.
I'm curious to if I see this or I come across this, or I remember to look, or if anybody else remembers to look and tell me. in a couple of weeks when the show's done, I'm curious if these numbers drastically raise on this chart just because there's more to watch and people watch it all at once or something. But
You
yeah,
just watch
doesn't
episode 6 over and over and over and over and over and over. And over.
I don't
Or
know, right?
five. Sorry, 5.
Yeah,
5, yeah.
but I mean, yeah, and like I don't know what the like Netflix actual like I don't know how much bigger Netflix is than Disney Plus. So like when you really get down to it, the only thing that we could really gauge it against is Hawkeye, for sure. To like know and
Yeah, well, Netflix is at 200 million subscribers and Disney Plus is at 100 million. So they're double the size.
So it's double. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's. Yeah, that's still though. Cobra Kai getting 2.42 billion.
How great is that? How great is that? I mean, look, I paid for YouTube Red, was it called, or Premium at first? Which one was Red at first and then became Premium? So just for the Cobra Kai thing, because I was like, I just want to see this dude just have a shitty life, And I gotta tell you, man, it was fun. But when he watches the Iron Eagle moment in season 1. And he's like learning lessons and shit. Like he's having, it's like right, watching Iron Eagle was his Mr. Miyagi moment. I was like, this fucking show is great. This is speaking right to my white boy fucking dreams right here. This is I've learned all the wrong lessons of the 80s, but that's where you end up drinking Coors, watching Iron Eagle at 2 a.m. in the same shitty apartment of the guy you used to bully when you're in high school. It's a cautionary tale for the Mando or what Mando.
Right.
Pablo Pascal, right?
Pablo? Pedro.
Pedro Pascal. Pedro, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm still on that Pablo Teabaggins trip from
Pablo
yesterday. My bad.
Fair enough.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, this is apparently some of the costumes for kids that you can get for the Disney Star Wars Star Cruiser $6,000 vacation thing. So but whoa there, dads, this costume's for kids only. So if you were hoping to get it, boy,
what if you have a childlike body? Like I aspire to be.
Yeah, hey, if you have a childlike body, by all means, if you want to get your ass kicked, put this thing on.
And it's like the nerdy Rhodians kicking your ass too. It's not even like the hardcore kids.
I mean, like, and just to contextualize this like a little bit, like they have like Return of the Jedi Luke capes for kids there. They have like Sith robes for kids there. And I mean, obviously there are some little boys who want to be little princes, and by all means, I hope that they enjoy this and that they get to be themselves. But in terms of as a Star Wars offering, in terms of a very general audience kind of thing, boy, do they not know what they're doing. They just keep fucking this one up.
I'm telling you, man, this is the closest I've ever seen Star Wars look to Star Trek, the motion picture.
It looks like
right in that wheelhouse. That first film.
Yeah, it looks like if the Captain Kirk in that movie wanted to be a fucking little prince for somebody, like got like
was like, hey, I know I have this revealing leisure suit. I'm gonna put on this coat so just my dick sticks out. Like
yeah, and he
see how it's cropped right at the dick,
right at the dick line.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
That's called an intergalactic piss flap. And with no flap, and but it looks like something that you would get on like a little carriage, and you'd pick Spock up, and like
it's my TJ Pecker. Like,
yeah,
it's a funny word, Pecker, dude, isn't it? Because Woody Woodpecker, it's so good. It was my favorite one as a kid. Just call me a pecker. I'll never stop laughing.
Yeah, well, maybe when I put that on, my tummy can hang out the bottom of it right there.
Oh, no. Or if you lose weight too fast and you get those tits, right?
Yeah,
the drippy ones. You got to be careful about losing weight too fast, folks. Don't be. I have a friend who's like, I lost 7 pounds. I'm like, you need to stop. Right. Trim that down to like 4 because you're gonna have just skin sagging everywhere. You got to understand how this works.
Got it. Yeah. You got to use that sag,
Oh, right. Hey,
here we go.
The Screen Actors Guild people are like, I want my health care back.
Yeah, so this yesterday was some anniversary for the special editions. Everybody's like, "Oh God, it's amazing." We're
I
old.
retweeted Truzan's art because the poster that's those special edition posters are my favorite Star Wars poster. Like that triptych that he put together, which you know the story behind that?
Hmm.
He was on vacation, like it was like their wedding anniversary or something with his wife. They had planned this for like a year, and he got the call, and he was like, "I want to do 3," and they're like, "Great," and they packed up. He's like, "Cancel, vacation's canceled." Went right back home to do those posters, and literally got it to him like the day they needed everything, you know. So,
Yeah,
but he was like, "Totally worth it."
yeah,
So
yeah.
when an artist is inspired, you get that. You know, when they aren't, you get Attack of the Clones, and then eventually the Revenge of the Sith poster, which is I recommend the Drew Struzan book, folks. The Art of Drew Struzan.
I do love I do love all. I mean, just about all of his work.
Yeah.
I will say though that the special edition posters is something that was just so I've seen it so much throughout my life that I'm a bit like when I look at it, I'm a bit numb to it. You know, I they hung on my wall for fucking years, so it's just like I'm a bit like about it. But everything else, I still I don't not that I don't love it. I'm just tired of it. But you might have seen former ILM visual effects and animation supervisor. This is by Aiden Roberts. Animation supervisor Spaz Williams pop up on VFX blog quite a lot recently. That's because he was involved in a number of seminal VFX celebrating the various anniversaries of late, including Terminator 2 Judgment Day and Jurassic Park.
Yeah, so
Williams
people
was
know he was the effects supervisor on in animator on The Abyss, Terminator 2, The Mask, Jumanji, Jurassic Park. I mean, like he had the run, right? Like the seminal run.
okay.
So Spaz Williams, and then eventually Spawn,
Yeah.
and career over. That's how it worked.
Looks like somebody from Disney or whatever saw this article and terminated the video that was on here. Williams was also involved in other landmarks, blah, blah, blah. The George Lucas Revisited original Star Wars Special Edition release. Okay. So Williams was asked to animate a digital Jabba for a deleted scene from A New Hope when the gangster confronts Han Solo on Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
The scene had been shot with a 1977 release using a stand-in actor for Jabba with plans to realize the sequence with a puppet or stop motion character. But as William recounts in his chat with VFX blog, it wasn't until the special editions released 20 years ago this week that Lucas felt he could take advantage of advancements ILM was making in CGI to complete the scene and have Jabba moving along the ground, unlike how audiences had previously witnessed the creature in Return of the Jedi. So, so we get into like a little bit of an interview here. And by the way, does it ever mention anything about the 1982 work in this article? I'm curious if that comes up at all.
No, it's a short read. It's just an interview with Spaz and what he did. It's a pretty short little read.
Yeah.
Doesn't really get into the
So
history of the development of Java.
right. Okay. Yeah. So he says, yeah, George specifically asked me to do the Java sequence. It was me doing the animation, and Joe uh, CG supervising it. George said that he had shot the sequence with an Irish actor playing Jabba. He never liked the sequence. He personally did not shoot it. It was shot second unit at Shepperton. And he also said he had lost the original negative to the sequence, disappeared. So he had no script
Well,
notes.
funny story. Frankie and Marty were over and shrooms, and well, next thing you know, 35 millimeter just explodes. Yeah, crazy story.
So we had no script notes, we had no camera notes. I said to George, listen, there's no set information or camera information for it. And he goes, well, I shot the whole movie with a 35 millimeter and a 50 millimeter. That's it. I looked at the scene and went, well, it's a 35 and a 50, and that's all it is. So we had to actually process what was the IP, which was the interpositive, which is a first strike of the negative. Oh, so it was like they used like the first print, pretty much. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, something like
to,
that.
to get it there, yeah.
Second generation copy, essentially, but first generation print, right?
Right. So okay. So what did you what do you think it was that made Lucas confident enough to go with CG? And he says, well, it was the previous work we'd been producing, but it was kind of a big deal because it was almost some of the first lip sync that we were actually doing in computer graphics. They were concurrently working on Dragonheart at the same time. That's such an interesting like piece of contextualization of where they were at when they did the first Java. And we also need to remember that if there's a second Java, that it was upgraded later on and made a hell of a lot better than the original one.
Dragonheart.
I also remember that
the Snakes on the Plane of 1995, right?
Dragonheart. I also remember that they couldn't create new. They didn't get a chance to create new textures for it. I always heard, so they used the T-Rex skin from Jurassic Park for that Java, for the original first Java, and it was just that was how they textured it, and that's not really what Java is, But so they go on to ask so you were taking advantage of the CARI system that had been developed by Carrie Phillips for Dragonheart at ILM, and then are they calling it Carrie? Carrie didn't exist when I animated Java. What we did was we have what is that? Phonemes that were formed in Softa Image version 2.6. What a nerd. He knows 2.6.1. I actually respect the fact that after all these years he remembers what version of the software he was using.
I remember the first time I used Photoshop was 2.5. So like
2.5?
It does stick in your craw, Yeah, they just added layers. An amazing little fucking thing, layers.
Yeah. Is that using a scratch tracker or synchronizer and scraping over the track? It was literally about breaking down every frame. How's that said? Phoneme?
Phonemes. I imagine, like, I'll look it up really quick, but I have a feeling those are like the muscle layers, or the like kind of like they probably use like little blobs or some kind of mesh, thing similar to like NURBS. Like a lot of NURBS rendering was the big deal in Maya, but this is pre-Maya, or Animation Master, I think it was called at the time. Maya, before it was called like Animation Master. But yeah, let me go look.
And that's how you break down sound based on a dope sheet. What? A dope sheet? What's going on here?
Yeah, it's an X sheet. So it's a big sheet that times out animation, to which I was supposed to learn how to read, and I never did, because I'm like, that looks like fucking math, and I would just I would wing all my animation to time, like my own, but yeah, dope sheets or X sheets I can't stand them. Oh no, phenome. So so this is where they're able to link the stuff up to languages, like the mouth. So he's talking about syncing the mouth up to the dialogue.
Oh, okay.
So he creates the ooh, the E, the R, the M, the P's, the puppy. Like, when you see South Park move their mouth and they have all those pre-made shapes, basically. So he was creating.
Yeah.
It's lip syncing. That's what it is. I was way off. Stupid ass tech guy.
I used a horizontal dope sheet, literally had written with cartoons everywhere. So you were responsible for animating Jabba, but can you talk about the other things that helped bring him to life? And then Joe was the CG supervisor, and Joe's a master. He is still the best in the world, in my view. I mean, look what he did with Peter Jackson's King Kong, which to this day, in my view, is one of the best computer animators I've ever seen. The emotion, the phase, the creature is unbelievable. So,
that's
now,
true. The King Kong.
You had the plates from 1997. This is Boba Fett was also. Yeah.
But I mean, King Kong is still
it was amazing.
Pre-Avatar tech.
King Kong work.
Yeah.
Pre-mocap and like you would, right?
Facial capture.
So it was just
facial
like
capture,
sort of traditionally done.
Yeah, they were still looking at performances like the
Gotcha.
circus, the circus style.
Yeah. And then they get into to Mark Austin, the guy who played Boba Fett. Yeah, that was actually an animator at ILM, Mark Austin, and Mark was a huge Boba Fett fan. Lucas had me shoot the insert shots of Boba Fett, which is in fact Mark Austin. So Joe and I just matched up the lens, and I just shot Mark blue screen, and he was comped in. Yeah, that one doesn't hold up that well, but it's okay. But just the fact that it like looks at the camera is a bit much. A lot of the things George changed for the special editions were controversial, but what do you remember was some of the reaction to the CG job at the time? And then Williams goes on to say, a lot of people pissed on it because Lucas had insisted in having the Harrison Ford character walk behind Jabba and step on his tail and go down, and it never looked right. It never looked right in my view. And then so there was also the challenge, wasn't there, of matching Jabba to what it looked like in Return of the Jedi? And Williams says, "You're exactly right about that." So what George said specifically to me was, imagine Jabba under a Jenny Craig program. He goes, "I want a slimmed down version of Jabba." And I mean, the thing that was kind of captivating
Yeah.
about
Yeah, more like me at
the
82.
practical
You
Jabba
know? Like,
was the amount of slime coming out of his mouth. Just stuff.
yeah, I can't hear anything Jason's doing now. I think we lost him.
We
Folks. Sucks, right? Getting to something meaningful. Getting to something meaningful, and here we are. Let's see if he comes back. I doubt it. Don't worry, if he doesn't come back, it just boots me off, so you don't have to listen to old Rob talk about. Welcome to the Making Sketchcraft Show. Good old Spaz Williams. So, hey, back to the whole thing I was thinking about with Halo. Since he can't be here to argue with me, right? Always with what cannot be done, right? Always what cannot be done. It's never been done before, which means it will never be done. Ever, which means it can never be done, which means I will never recognize it being important. Interesting. Live too. I wonder if he had a reboot. This is the weirdest one, folks. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes and then I'll just end it, and that should end the show. But I don't understand why this is so hard. So difficult. Yeah, if that Halo show comes out and is amazing, then I don't care what Jason says. Like, people are gonna be like, "Why wasn't this the Boba Fett show that we got? Look, he doesn't need to see the face." Like, so totally possible. Totally possible. It's also totally possible that show is fucking horrible, like, and incredibly pretentious. Like, I don't fault it. I do think something like Destiny would do better as a TV show than a video game, though. Like, have you ever seen the concept art for Destiny where it looks like treasure chests in space and shit? So good. Yep, that's it. I'm gonna cancel. I'm out of here, folks.
What? How's it going?
Oh wow, audio's a little low on yours, but that's how it works. It's good.
Well, I'm hearing you twice. Did it kick you off? Are we still
No,
on?
I canceled it and re-went back in.
Okay. Yeah, this thing is fucked up today. I don't know what's going on, so we'll just we'll just get together tonight. I'll just put a message in the chat or something.
All right.
Because I had to get on my phone, and for some reason I'm hearing everything that you say twice now, which makes no sense. But but
Halo, Halo, Halo.
yeah, I blame Halo,
You bastard!
and
Can you
and
feel it
so
calling in the air?
yeah, so Peter can see us, but yeah, this stuff is all. I apologize everybody for that, but boy, did that go weird all of a sudden, and just having a bad melon day for some reason ever since we got on today. So I don't know what's going on. I think it's on their end this time, but anyways, we're going to be back tonight at 1 a.m. After the Book of Boba Fett to talk about the show, about the episode. So if you guys stay up, come join us, and if you don't, we'll see. Come watch the show in the morning, and or after you watch the episode, and let us know what you think, and we'll definitely pick up on the rest of that interview tomorrow too, because you know. But sorry about the echo, guys. Nothing I can do about it. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.
It's not about spaceships.
How was your melon experience? It was bad.